She sprinted across the parking lot in a crimson dress and stiletto boots, her sobs choking her as she stumbled, unable to see where she was going. The motorcycle club had pulled into the diner for their usual midday stop, spreading out like a territorial claim. The lot soon resembled a graveyard of idling engines, 12 bikes lined up in a staggered row, their chrome glinting under the afternoon sun. 14 members in black leather jackets and cut-off denim moved through the space with practiced ease, their presence alone commanding silence from the surrounding businesses. The largest of them, Bear, was crouched beside his Harley, adjusting a front tire when the sound of her approach made him look up. She didn't hesitate. She charged straight at him, grabbing his vest with both hands, her face streaked with tears and raw grief. Her voice cut through the sudden stillness. "They're beating my mama. Please, please help her." Without a second thought, he dropped to one knee, closing the distance between them. His face settled into the dirt level with hers. "Where?" he asked. She pointed across the street. He nodded, pushed off the ground, and scanned the people behind him. No one needed to be told to follow. Before long, if real strength lies in knowing when to act and for whom, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still believes in people. Nora was 5 years old, and her boots, slightly too large, had been purchased to last, though they hadn't quite made it. She'd sprinted 3 blocks past a gas station and 2 storefronts without pausing, guided by an instinct she hadn't yet learned to doubt. Children trust their gut instincts completely, unclouded by second-guessing. She'd halted when she saw the motorcycles, their thumping engines and towering riders drawing her in despite her fear. For a heartbeat she froze, 5 years old, facing the largest, loudest people she'd ever encountered. Then something in her core decreed she should run forward, and she did, lungs burning, heart pounding. Bear, known by that nickname for 15 years, had rarely heard his real name spoken. At 38, his broad frame carried the weight of years shaped by choice. He called his daughter every Sunday, rain or shine, without fail. 8 years old and states away, she was his anchor. When he knelt, his gaze met hers, and he asked, "Where is she?" She pointed. He rose, strode across the street in 40 seconds, followed by 11 others. The ground-floor apartment door hung ajar, its frame patched months ago after a violent kick. The sounds within were the kind no one should endure. Bear didn't knock. What followed in the next 4 minutes mattered less than its conclusion. The violence ceased, 2 men fled battered and bruised, and Carmen, 29, bruised, her wrist fractured, sat on the floor as Bear returned. She met his eyes, then stepped aside, understanding the threat had ended. Ree, a 12-year club veteran who'd witnessed much but remained unbroken, knelt beside Carmen. "Let me see your wrist," she said softly. Carmen insisted she was fine, but Ree persisted, gently examining the injury. "It's not broken, ice a wrap, and you need medical attention today." Carmen hesitated. "I don't have," Ree cut her off. "We'll handle it." She offered her name. Carmen introduced herself. "Nobody's going to hurt you here. We'll get you help, and then we'll make sure this never happens again. But first, breathe." Carmen exhaled, Nora clinging to her side. Later, Bear stood in the doorway as the club gathered behind him, their quiet solidarity speaking louder than words. Cord asked, "What now?" Bear replied, "We stay until it's done." Their commitment was absolute. Kindness tailies aren't just about crossing streets or minutes inside a room, they're about what comes after. One member dialed numbers. By afternoon's end, domestic advocates arrived. Carmen received urgent care in Ree's car, a locksmith installed new locks, and she left with a support worker's contact and a follow-up appointment. Knowledge alone is a kind of strength. Bear found Nora on the stoop, approached her in his leather jacket, and sat beside her in silence. "I didn't know where to go," she whispered. "You went the right place," he said. "You're big. I know. Scary, to some, not to you. How do I know? Because you ran to me." She glanced at her oversized boots. "They're too big." "Still ran 3 blocks. I was scared. Brave too, both at once." She absorbed this. "Will Mama be okay? People are helping, yes. Will they come back? 14 of us. We know where they are. That usually settles things." She accepted this. "What's your name?" "Bear. Not a name, an animal. They call me that." "What does your mama call you?" "Thomas." "I'll call you Thomas." "All right. Thomas, thank you." He looked at the 5-year-old in the red dress, tears drying on her cheeks, and thought of his own daughter. Every Sunday he'd call her, marking each year she knew she could run to him with everything she had, and he'd kneel. "You did right today," he told her, scared but didn't freeze. "Ran and asked for help, that's what you do. Okay? Can you remember? Yes, say it. When I'm scared, I don't stay still, I run and ask for help." She repeated it, nodding solemnly. Carmen emerged from the apartment, spotting Nora on the step beside the towering figure in leather. "I didn't mean to bother you," she said. "You saved the day," Bear replied. "Didn't bother anyone, we're just staying until it's over." "Why?" "Because she ran to us, that makes it ours." Carmen settled beside Nora, and the afternoon stretched on. By dusk, the apartment had transformed. A new lock gleamed on the door, the frame repaired, a support worker's number magnetized to the fridge. Carmen sipped tea in Ree's travel mug, her own kitchen too painful to stand in, and iced her wrist while Nora slept on the couch. Later, Carmen traced the new lock's edge. "I kept thinking it wouldn't stop," she admitted. "I kept waiting for it to be bad enough to leave." Ree shook her head. "It was always bad enough." "I ran out alone," Carmen continued. "I didn't know." "You knew what to do," Ree said. "You decided, then ran toward help. That's in you already." "I didn't teach her that," Carmen wondered. "She learned it anyway from someone." Carmen gazed at her sleeping daughter in the red dress. "I'll be better for her. I know." "How?" "Because you said it like you meant it, not hopping, decided." Carmen studied Ree. "When did you trust people?" "After something hard," Ree said slowly. "One person at a time. Someone does something costly and keeps going anyway, and you file it, add it up, takes time. You're adding to mine tonight. That's why we're here." Bear departed last, pausing on the step to watch the apartment's new lock and glowing windows. He reflected on a 5-year-old in boots too big, running toward the loudest, most intimidating figures instead of away. He'd called his daughter mid-Sunday, her voice bright with ordinary news, and listened as she spoke her truth. When she finished, she said, "Dad, you can call any time." He'd meant it. Starting the engine, he rode home under the summer sky, carrying the lesson. When you're scared, you don't stay still. You run and ask for help. Sometimes the people waiting at the end are exactly right, especially if they look like they couldn't be. If this stayed with you, like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to believe in people today. Subscribe to Kindness Tales for more stories of unexpected courage and quiet strength, the ones who show up completely when it matters most. Because real strength knows when to kneel, and true courage knows who to run to. Welcome to Kindness Tales. We're so glad you're here.